What's up, guys? My name's Chris Weaver. You'll find me on all social media as Portrait Seeker. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing right now. I've never done video before. This is kind of fish out of water shit. But basically, I've got a picture here by a photographer called Daniel Montiero. Daniel Monteiro. Monteiro. Monteiro sounds right. That sounds right. So yeah, we're gonna basically. I got this image from Unsplash, just a stock image. We're gonna run through what I did step by step, not how I did it, because that would take forever. But I'm basically going to show you all of the layers that I added to this photo in Photoshop to get to the final result. You might not like it. That's fine. I'll show you what I did step by step, and I'll show you the final results and the before and after, and you can leave a comment down below, tell me if it's shit, and if it's shit, then I don't know what else you want me to do. But fuck it, let's jump into Photoshop and let's find out how terribly I did. Let's go. Okay, motherfuckers, so here we are. We are in Photoshop, the magical world that is. So, the challenges that I spoke of with this image. As you can see, beautiful image, greatly, like, perfectly shot. Like, can't fault it at all. You can obviously see that it's like, try to have that, like, that slight brand and woeful, low light situation type shit going on, and I think it's accomplished it really nicely. The only issue with this kind of photography where you have that where you're almost relying on the artificial light is you do have a lot of noise introduced into the image. As you can see, it's sharp, no doubts about that, but it is really struggling with noise, which is obviously something that you get when you start shooting low light and have that noise starting to come into frame. Obviously you can tell that the ISO was really high to accomplish this sort of image. There's a lot of noise in that bitch. She's not a bitch. I'm not saying she's a bitch, but there's a lot of noise that is in this photo right now. So that was one of the challenges that I had. So, first and foremost, what I normally do is I like to retouch the blemishes. I didn't go too mad with this image. There's slight blemishes on the forehead. Then again, I can't tell if they're blemishes or they're just really heavy noise pixels. But apart from her forehead, the rest of her body seems reasonably blemish-free. There's a couple of blemishes down here that I didn't touch up. But anyway, yeah, with the touch-up, bam, you can see the forehead there has softened out a little bit. The next thing that I did was, which is normally what my workflow is, the frequency separation. So separating the high and low frequencies, which is obviously the textures and the colors of the skin. As you can see here, what I've done is I've added in artificial skin texture. Because after you've done a heavy retouch with somebody's skin, what you'll find is, as you can see here, the skin is almost like it's ghost-like. So what I found was the easiest way was to almost reset the skin texture altogether. So I touched up the tones, made sure they were all nicely even, etc., and then I added in that artificial skin tone. I know it looks weird, but it doesn't look as bad towards the end, so bear with me. As I said, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with this video stuff, so you'll just have to bear with me. I'm making this shit up as I go along. So the next thing I did was, which is my normal protocol after I've done my frequency separation, is to then do all of my dodging and burning. My dodging and burning protocol is a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Most people like to do local dodge and burn, which is something that I did, but I also first and foremost like to work with the natural highlights and shadows in the picture. So what I did was I worked with curve adjustment layers. As you can see, I've done about 4 or 5 here. Bam, that folder on. So here is with all the curves adjustments. So you can see I've added a nice little pop to the highlights, brought in those shadows a little bit, and then with this one here, I've also, as you can see, this is my local dodge and burning. I've added in that contour of that cheek and on the nose as well. So it's added a little bit of depth into her face and her phalanges, as you can call them, right? Yeah, anyway, so next thing that I did was I had a little bit of glow to her skin. It's very fine, but you can kind of see it. You probably won't be able to see it on YouTube, but I've added a little bit of glow to her skin. Next thing I did was trying to work with these eyes. As you can see, there's so much noise in the whites of the eyes. So what I found that I had to do was I had to retouch the eyes quite heavily. So bringing the whites back into the eyes, adding that little bit of highlight into her pupils where the light is naturally reflecting. From here, it still looks pretty shit, but then I kind of zoom out and it's not that bad. Even with a little bit of a detail zoom, it's not too bad. But right up close, yeah, they still look pretty shocking. But I did the best that I could with the very, 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 very minimal knowledge that I have. Next thing that I did was I started working with the foreground, with the background, sorry, and the details of the shot, which I kind of wanted to accentuate and make a little bit more magical, adding that little portrait seeker flare. I don't feel like that's going to catch on anytime soon. Hashtag portrait seeker flare. So here is where I started adding things like a light coming from the TV or the games console that she sat next to, and I also added a little bit of a hue and saturation, so it kind of made it a little bit bluer, so you could see that it was kind of matching with the light that would be coming from a cyan games console. And then I also added a nice little flare, a lens flare in the, I believe it's the render? Is it render that you get that from? I don't know, I can't see right now. But yeah, added a little lens flare, added that nice little touch to it, that little movie, like 24mm movie type thing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Moving on very, very swiftly. Next thing I did was I made a stamp visible layer. That's basically where I started working with my selective colors. This is the first draft of my selective color edit. So here I kind of brought the shadows down, kind of added a little bit of contrast to the picture just to give that little bit of drama to the picture. One of the things that I found was lacking massively in this picture at this present point in time was her skin tone was very, very flushed out. Obviously, with pictures like this, you are going to get a little bit of different colours in the skin tone, but I kind of wanted to bring that back a little bit because I am picky, and that is what I did. So I added those oranges, those yellows and reds back into the skin tone. That's before... oh shit. Yeah, sorry. There we are. That is with the skin tones kind of come back as well. Next thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of weirdness to the picture because I'm a little bit strange and bizarre. So I started adding sparks coming out of the computer screen, which I duplicated and added that little bit of extra coming out the bottom. And then I also added a brightness and saturation layer to those sparks to kind of make them pop a little bit. Next thing that I did was another stamp visible layer and another selective color. Here is where I kind of started bringing up the highlights and the neutrals, brought back the reds, the oranges, a little bit of warmth to it. Although I did do this, I will say by the end of the picture, kind of was pointless because the next selective color that I did pretty much cancelled this out, but bear that in mind as we move forward. The next layer, I added a blank layer and I kind of added that nice little that little flare coming off the TV, a little bit of extra brightness, adding a little bit more highlight to that side of her face and her arm. And then the next thing I used was a gradient filter on the stamp visible. You can't really see it too much here, but if I bring that layer fill to 100%, you can see that I've kind of used the color blending option, and then I've kind of brought that fill all the way down to about 10%. So you can kind of see where it graduates the color from the TV screen, and then eventually it kind of tapers off into black and dark on this side of the screen. The next thing that I added was a curves adjustment layer to kind of bring the darks down because I wanted to add a little bit more drama because I wasn't satisfied before. And then the next thing that I started doing was adding a little bit of punch to her makeup because I thought that it was a little bit flat. I could add a little bit more pizzazz to her eyes and her cheeks, so that's exactly what I did. Added some orange eyeshadow, and I also added a little bit of rouge. Just added rouge because, you know, why the fuck not? That's the kind of person I am. Lastly, I added another stamp visible layer, and I added my final selective color adjustment, which is POW, adding those blues straight back into the picture because I thought a lot of the elements in this picture, a lot of the light elements in this picture, shall I say, were blue cyans. So that is where the reflective colour is going to kind of come in. All of the highlights would be kind of bluish slash quite like highlighted white slash blue. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, that's where I ended up. Yeah, this is the final picture. Doesn't look like much, probably because it isn't much, question mark. But anyway, so this is your before. Quite flat, still a great image. I'm not going to slate the photographer. Great idea, great image. Subject matter, brilliant. So this is your before, and then with a little bit of Portrait Seeker punch, this is kind of where we ended up. And I personally ended up quite happy with it, if I'm completely honest. I don't know if I'm going to post it, because I am very picky. But this is a really fun one to do. Like I said, those challenges were interesting. We've got that skin tone. Like I mentioned to you guys at the beginning, I wasn't sure if that artificial skin texture was going to work. I'm still not 100% happy with it, but I think it definitely was a lot better than the noise that was there previously. So yeah, I feel like it's added that little bit of extra to the picture in question. So one more time, this is your after, before, after. Okay, so thanks very much for watching this video, guys. It's my first one. Like I said, hopefully moving forward I might be a little bit more organised and know what the fuck I'm doing, because I honestly have no idea. But if you want to see more content like this and you want to see what I kind of do to get to the end result of my pictures, then feel free to subscribe to this channel and also give me a little like on Instagram, and my handle is @Portrait Seeker. I've been Chris Weaver. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.